Kash Patel's got a big job ahead of him at the FBI. Of course, that means Christopher Wray, he out, he gone. And he joined 60 Minutes to assure the American people, though, that the FBI has been impartial through this entire process. Take a listen.
And ultimately, all we can do at the FBI is make sure that we stay focused on doing the work in the right way, following our rules, and not letting preferences, partisan or otherwise, drive or taint the approach.
And were those the rules followed in starting the investigations against the president-elect?
We tried very hard to make sure that we've stayed faithful to those principles and those rules in every investigation that I can think of that's been occurring on my watch.
Well, Congressman, I'll just give the floor to you.
I mean, Christopher Wray is a disgrace. I had one phone call conversation with him, and it was probably a 5 to 10 minute conversation. He probably lied 3 times to me on the phone, at least, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. That agency has no confidence on my House Oversight Committee, and I would argue that other than the House Intelligence Committee, which that's a whole other story, I don't think a majority of members of the Republican conference in the House of Representatives believe a thing Christopher Wray or the FBI says. We're going to have Kash Patel go in, just like Pete Hedgepeth, and they're going to have to clean house. And that doesn't just mean firing the political appointees. You know, that's a given when you get a new administration for people like Christopher Wray and those to leave. But they're going to have to go down and terminate the top 2 layers of the bureaucracy, those that have tenure, those that have merit in civil service in the federal government. They think they're protected. And according to the law, they may be protected, but we're going to have to set an example. And I think Kash and Pete will do that. It's going to have to be done to restore confidence in our whole judiciary and our whole intelligence community.
Yeah, so Kash Patel has a huge job ahead of him. How does he do that? How does he restore that confidence in the FBI?
It's going to be tough, and he's going to have to go in with a superior knowledge, which I think he has. I've met with Kash Patel in the past. We're going to meet later on this week. I'm going to offer him the assistance of the House Oversight Committee. We want to work with him because when it gets to what we've been looking into in our investigations, number one, we haven't gotten any information we've requested from the FBI. We've only received obstruction from the FBI, and we need accountability. And we need to hold people accountable in the FBI that were a part of the cover-ups, that were a part of the obstruction. Yeah. And allowing them to stay on is the worst thing that can happen. So Kash Patel's going to have a very difficult job. I would argue a tougher job than Pete or Robert F. Kennedy or anyone else. Kash is going to have a tough job, but I think he can do it. And I know our House Oversight Committee is going to work hand in hand with him.
Yeah, Congressman, I want to take a switch gears here, talk about one of your favorite topics, Hunter Biden. Joe Biden's legacy includes the sweeping pardon of his son, but special counsel David Weiss blasted the president in his final report that was also delivered last night. I mean, Chairman, you mentioned it in your book, and you and the Oversight Committee spent a lot of time on this investigation. Tell us what you think this all means.
Well, this is an admission of guilt. When Joe Biden pardoned his son, and he didn't just pardon him for what Weiss charged him with, he pardoned him for anything and everything. And it was a broad pardon that would include any potential crime that had been committed over the past decade. That's never been done before. The reason he made that pardon so broad is because Hunter Biden committed so many financial crimes. You know, I would argue he violated the Foreign Agents Registration Act. The bank said he was money laundering. The IRS whistleblower said he committed much greater tax evasion than what he was initially charged with. So Joe Biden's legacy is going to be that of having a family that was involved in influence peddling, where he was at the center of that influence peddling. Not only did our investigation reveal that the Bidens were taking in tens of millions of dollars from our adversaries around the world, according to the IRS whistleblowers, they never paid a penny of taxes on it. That family probably owes $10 million more in taxes to the federal government. So, you know, this is not a good legacy, and I think the pardons and the David Weiss report and all of that prove that.
All right, Congressman, great to have you on again. Congratulations on your new book as well. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.